Number 4 for me is Braden Fiske from Florida State, who had become a bit of a combine darling, but was featuring quite high up in mock drafts anyway. In the 2 big mock drafts that I'd done, he was a second rounder in both of them. He is an all-time athlete at the position, a combine darling who appears to have rocketed his draft stock, but I don't think he has. I think he's just rocketed his affinity within the media. We're now talking about him more. I'm not sure the NFL teams necessarily are, because I think he's a very good player, and he's not just an athlete. Solid frame that allows for that elite athleticism, but also allows him to have a comfortable strength profile at 6'4", 292. He can play a variety of alignments. He can rush the passer from the 3 or the 5 tech, and I like his leg drive. That I think that's some of the best in his class, where he just grinds out when he can win with strength. If he gets the hands off you, he will push you back and not give up. Exhaustive motor, violent hand usage to attack the chest or attack the shoulder, depending on what role he's going to play. And I think he can win inside and out, which is going to allow him to play multiple downs. Explosive movement means that he can chase down rushers, which isn't it's quite something to watch, but isn't necessarily something he's going to do a lot of, but it's nice to have. And just his ability to create leverage, both with overpowering athleticism, elite first step, but also the strength profile to hold up against bigger guys. I really like Braden Fiske. I think he is an early day 2 player. Doesn't have the longest arms if we're talking about weaknesses, which can impact his tackling range. And it means he can sacrifice some leverage and balance when extending to reach out for tackles. And doesn't necessarily have the hip flexibility, but look, he's going to be an interior guy, so it doesn't bother me. And he's going to be an older prospect. He'll be 24 when he gets to the NFL, but I think there's a lot to like.
Yeah, he just missed out for me. I think it's again we've struggled with ranking these guys, and I don't think you could really argue with any
Yeah.
of the orders. I think for me, he struggles a little bit with his pad level, and because I obviously watch a lot of the offensive linemen, which is what I like.
Yeah.
Just seeing that it affects his leverage against offensive linemen at times, and when you're not the biggest and not the strongest, that does limit some of what he can do. And again, for me, someone that we talk about exposing the chest, he often gets the hands into his chest, but he's super agile, super quick for the position. His athleticism is there, and he plays really hard as well. He has become a bit of a darling, isn't he, after the combine? But it's not. Combines don't
Yeah,
make players.
exactly.
Combines can confirm what you know already. And I think he probably did that because I think he was expected to test really well and was a very athletic player as well. Again, he's someone I think is going to have to sit next to a big dude
Yeah.
to get the best out of him. I think he probably has enough that he could probably play that kind of 3-4 eye position. I think that's where he's going to be the best at. Again, I probably wouldn't want him right in the middle of that line and having to
Okay.
take on double teams. But for me, just outside. But again, there seems to be a theme of the types of defensive tackles, isn't there, that are in this draft in
Yeah.
general? And he certainly fits in that mold.
Yeah, right. Just the combine doesn't rocket your stock. The combine gets you on telly, and there's going to be teams going, I wish he hadn't have tested that well, really, because he was going early anyway. He's probably a round 2 player.